Well, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel. Thanks so much for your time for tuning into our show today. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, that your new year is off to an amazing start. Hard to believe 2024 already. Here we are, show number one of a brand new year, and we continue to have the same goal for On Deck with Avoya to share with you the most up-to-date information on the exclusive resources offered to those in the Avoya network. We hope you're inspired when you hear something that maybe grabs your attention and says, hey, I want to know more, so that you can reach out and start that conversation. A big conversation to start the year, that's for sure, as we are excited to jump into the topic of groups with you today, as Riza Ojeda, Groups Lead, is our featured Meet the Team guest today. Groups is always an important topic whenever my team discusses the benefits of being part of the Avoya network. And we can't wait to have that interview here in just a couple of minutes. We're also going to take a moment before we wrap up today to highlight Avoya promotions, including our ongoing discount for active and retired military members and their spouses. We'll highlight our travel agent education powered by Avoya platform, continuing to do amazing things as we head into 2024. We'll take a moment to brag about the amazing resources offered exclusively to those in the Avoya network. And we'll wrap up the big show today by highlighting our social media contacts and all the ways that you can reach out and start the process to become part of the Avoya Travel Network. So let's jump right into it. Show number one of a brand new year here. Our first Meet the Team guest for On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. Please help me welcome our first Meet the Team guest for 2024, Riza Ojeda, Group Lead with the amazing Groups Department at Avoya Travel. Riza, so great to have you as our featured guest this week.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Happy 2024.
Happy 2024. I know you were telling us, before we started that you made it to midnight. Congratulations on that great feat. That's something I haven't accomplished in the last few years, I got to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Hey, before we get too far into our interview, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you ended up working for Avoya Travel on the Groups team?
Yeah, of course. Well, when I was living in San Diego, it was one of those things I wanted to work in the travel industry, and it sparked my attention. So when I first started in Avoya, I started at the call center and did that for a couple of years, and then quickly transitioned to the Groups team. And then I've been in this department ever since.
I mean, it's such a dynamic team to be part of and such an amazing resource that's offered to those in the Avoya network. Before we jump into your role, though, I just want to find out, you mentioned that, one of the reasons you got involved with Avoya is that you wanted to be in the travel business. Where did that love for travel start in your life? I mean, when did you get the travel bug?
Man, I think maybe my early teens, when you first start learning to drive, and then you can go a little bit further. And then I always loved learning different cultures. So ever since from that point on, just having the resources as you grow and work, having the ability to travel and vacation, it just sparked my interest at that point. Just learning about the different places that, different cultures and how people live.
Yeah, for sure. And once you actually get to experience that, right? It's kind of contagious. I mean, you take one trip, you have that magical moment, those magical experiences, and you got to have more of it, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what your role as a group lead for Avoya Travel and the Groups team does. Kind of what your day-to-day might look like, and how you think that has a benefit for those that make up the Avoya network.
Sure. Well, right now, a lot of my time is focused on group assistant training. So we have a lot of new people, and we're trying to immerse them into different vendors and suppliers so that we can assist the network even better. But on the day-to-day, what we normally do is we review travel records. We QC them just to make sure that we're meeting the supplier policies and that we're maintaining our strong relationships with our vendors, and also assisting anybody who needs help with it's group related. Either it's locating the groups, or if they have a question on their affinity group, things of that nature. So we're always dabbling in like everybody's records just to make sure that we can help them.
Hey, listen, I wish there was somebody that came behind me 24 hours a day and did a little quality control for my life. So the fact that you're helping out and making sure all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, I think that's pretty amazing. Now, I know there's no doubt I'm biased on this topic, and you're probably a little biased too, but do you think that the groups department at Avoya Travel really is a unique resources that helps make Avoya Travel kind of stand out in this big crowd of host agencies?
I think so. I mean, along with promotions, we have the ability to offer additional onboard credit for the clients. We're always trying to find ways to add amenities and just additional things. Like, for example, like TLN has the distinctive voyage. We have the ability to do like um, the culinary collection on there, or a private car and driver, and just bridging the gap between our IAs and the suppliers. So if there's anything that is missing from that connection, or if they need assistance, we're there to jump in. And also, I think understanding groups is the way that we stand out. As having a group department, we can help the IA understand how to add that benefit to their client. And at the end of the day, we strive for what's better for them. So if there's anything else that we can give them without shelling out any additional money, then we'll help to add that to their booking.
Absolutely. One of the things that you mentioned was TLN, Travel Leaders Network, and that is the consortia that the Avoya Travel Network belongs to. And what makes the Avoya so unique for those that are watching my interview today is that Avoya Travel not only has groups that we're able to tag on that is set up by those at TLN, Travel Leaders Network, but also we have an amazing groups team that you're part of that kind of sets up and pre-blocks some of that great space on cruises all around the world. I think it's always fascinating, but how many groups does the groups team manage here as we start 2024? Any idea?
It's pretty crazy. It is about 1,600 for Avoya groups and about 5,500 for the TLN consortia groups. So
No,
it's quite a bit.
hit me those numbers one more time, because I think it's so blown me away. I'm not sure my brain comprehended that.
It's 1,600 Avoya and 5,500 TLN, and that's just current. Right now, there are more sailings that have been open to us, so we're adding more groups to that list. So it's always growing.
Yeah, for sure. And that's on top of the affinity groups that those at our network may put together themselves with the various vendors too, right?
Exactly.
So are you excited about 2024 and what it's going to be like for those in the travel business? Because I assume your position gives you a pretty unique perspective on that topic.
Yes, we know business is ramping up. Training is continuing, and that's why we hired a few more people, because we anticipate that additional work that's coming. We're excited to bring additional resources to the network, and we're busy striving to do more of that so that the knowledge is there and readily available for everyone.
Kind of put you on the spot on this one. I was thinking back as you were answering that when I first started working with Avoya Travel a little over 10 years ago, just how, I mean, it was still an amazing department, but it was so much smaller, a decade ago. Approximately how many people make up the groups team right now?
Right now, including Tanya Martinez, who's the director of groups, we make up 10. So we're still a small group, but we hope to grow it further depending on like how everything works out. But the training takes a little bit of time, so we want to make sure that the people that are that are assisting have the best knowledge so that they can help assist the network.
I'm sure 10 seems small, and it is in comparison to maybe some of these like big Fortune 500 companies. But I'm going to tell you something. I think if you were to see the number of people that actually works for a groups department at our competitors, you'd be shocked at how big a number 10 actually is, because that's one of the areas that we just swamp our competition is the sheer number of amazing people that are employed by Avoya Travel like yourself that are here to support those in the Avoya network. So congratulations on all the amazing stuff that you guys are doing over there.
Thank you.
Riza Ojeda is our featured guest today, group lead for the group's department at Avoya Travel, and our Meet the Team guest for On Deck with Avoya. Riza, are you able to help me explain the differences between a group that, say, Avoya Travel manages versus that group that we were talking about a minute ago that's an affinity group that somebody in the Avoya network might block out for their own clients? And again, some of those differences.
Sure. They're what we call a promotional group. This includes both Avoya and TLN, our consortia. These are open to the entire network to block into, and then depending on what that group is, they have the ability to offer that associated group amenity to their clients. The other type of group that we have is affinity groups, and these are very specific groups for a specific agency, and it's for a group of people coming together for a common interest. So a lot of these are reunions or weddings or birthday parties or just a group of friends that want to come together, but they're there for a specific reason. And for those are exclusive to that IA who had created them. And depending on what they negotiate with the vendor or supplier is what they can offer to that specific group of people.
And when you say offer to that specific group of people, you're talking about the amenities that might come along, right, from the vendor. So maybe a specific extra onboard credit, or maybe they're going to choose to do a private cocktail party, or whatever the case may be, right?
Right. And some of our IAs, they'll go in and do something special maybe for the client, maybe the person who's getting married and have a gift to them, or maybe the bridal party wants to offer some type of amenity for their entire group. There they can specify what kind of amenity they can give to everybody under that specific affinity group.
Where just to compare, like for the groups that are exclusive either to TLN or Avoya Travel, it's more that if I was an affiliate, I might be selling it, like a couple of people at a time, where they're able to join that group, maybe take advantage of the amenity that's been created for the group, but not necessarily have a direct connection with the other people that are part of the group or be traveling for a specific reason. It's something that we blocked out, they blocked out for that particular sailing, right?
Exactly. Going back to that Oprah promotional group for Avoya and TLN, those are open to the entire network, so they don't have any connections to each other. They're not going to dine together, but they are going to have the amenity that is provided. And it's going to be the same for anybody in that group.
Perfect. Let's talk about you for a second. Like when you get a chance to get away from the office, what kind of things keep you busy and what kind of things do you like to do for fun?
It was funny. I've been more of a homebody now, so a lot of the things that I do are like art projects. I do a lot of macrame. Past year, I've been learning the ukulele, so I'll play every once in a while. Um, we do go to the movies, and by we, that's my husband and I, and do board games. And what really keeps me busy though is plants. I had this whole like during COVID when we are indoors, I started gravitating on purchasing indoor plants, and that fascination has just grown. And I have a lot of plants, and they all need watering at the same time. So they keep me busy for sure.
Hey, if you've got a green thumb enough that you can keep indoor plants alive, I mean, I'm not wearing one, but my hat's off to you, so to speak. What about travel? I know we touched on the subject earlier of kind of where that love for travel started for you, but have you had a chance to really, be involved in any amazing travel highlights since you've been working for Avoya Travel, and anything that you might want to share with us today?
So luckily, I was invited to join in on the Avoya conference. When we went to Alaska, that was really fun. It was nice to meet people face to face, both IAs and suppliers, and even some coworkers that are remote, maybe from Florida that I haven't seen. So that was a unique experience. And I was so thankful to go to a place that I haven't been before. So Alaska was my one a place on my bucket list I never gone to, and surprisingly, I was able to go with Avoya. So
Always a really special moment when you can kind of cross one off the bucket list, right?
yes, yes.
Pretty amazing stuff. Hey, before we wrap up our interview today, I wanted to give you a chance to share any thoughts that maybe we haven't covered yet, or something that you think you should double down as far as information as it pertains to the group department, or whatever your thoughts are here about Avoya Travel.
Well, right now we're really excited about uh, providing resources to the network. And whether that's training or just giving our insight on how we QC records, on how we take a look at records to make sure that when you move FIT bookings or individual bookings into a group, they understand that nothing else is falling off. So just offering that additional training to the network is something that we are working on adding to the group department and for the network. So that's something that I'm really excited about. It might take a little bit of time since we're still training, but that's the direction that we're going.
Sounds like a great direction to me. Hey, as we enter the 5th calendar year, hard to believe, I know we've been on here a little over 3 years, but technically this is our 5th calendar year that we're heading into for On Deck with Avoya. You get to be the first person to answer this question for the brand new year, but my question is really simple. Are you excited about the future of leisure travel, and what would lead you to your answer?
I am excited for travel. There's so many unique things happening in the travel industry right now that I'm excited about. There's a lot of innovation that's happening in our world, and uh, I can see that in just our day-to-day lives on like how we can be evolving, how we use technology. So I feel like that's going to be a really good part of the next, the upcoming years.
Perfect answer to answer that question as we kick off 2024. Riza Ojeda, everyone, Group's Lead for Avoya Travel. Thanks so much for your time and for being our featured guest. And we appreciate your wonderful insight and everything that you shared with us today.
Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Thanks for being part of On Deck with Avoya. Next week, we're so lucky. We're going to have back-to-back Meet the Team segments as Sherry Graves, Director of Events, and Michelle Showalter, Manager of Events, will be joining us to talk about that unique resource for the Avoya Network. That's going to be next Thursday here at On Deck with Avoya at our normal time. You're certainly going to want to join us for that amazing event. And then as we roll into 2024, we continue with our great military discount. Avoya is proud to provide a military discount for both veterans and their spouses, taking $100 off any curriculum package for Avoya Travel Agent Education powered by Avoya, taking off $100 on the affiliation fee to join the Avoya Network. You can reach out at avoyanetwork.com and find out all the information, or get connected to somebody on one of the teams that are working those, and they're more than happy to help you understand. One of the great ways to have a great year is to just have a good foundation. And how about you do it while it's on sale? We're talking about the award-winning Travel Agent Education powered by Avoya platform that is on sale right now for as low as $372. You see it right there, right? You thought all the sales were over post-Christmas. Nope. We've got one for you still. 35 to 40 hours of online self-paced lessons. It includes the exam fee. Again, $100 off the affiliation price when you choose to affiliate. Again, reach out at avoyanetwork.com to find out the details on that. And that's going to lead you directly into becoming part of the Avoya Network, where you can take advantage of the amazing resources that we have to offer. Find your professional freedom. You can access our amazing technology, Agent Power, live leads. Still the #1 resource in all of leisure travel. The amazing marketing assets from the Avoya Marketing Resource Center. Everything you need to just run a very effective leisure travel business in 2024. Hey, we would love for you to give us a follow, like, or notification, and all those bell things that happen when you follow people on social media. At Avoya Travel Network, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. I'm sure you can find a couple other places too. A new video. Oh, YouTube. That's right. That's where we archive all of our videos. So, of course, you can find us on YouTube. Never miss a beat at Avoya Travel Network. Or go old-fashioned. Pick up the phone and give me a call. My number's on the screen. You can always send me an email at chris.green@avoyatravel.com. Again, avoyanetwork.com is where you're going to find a wealth of information about our network. Thank you so much for joining us today for episode number 1 of our brand new year of On Deck with Avoya. Thanks, Riza, for being a wonderful guest. Thanks, Annabella, for producing our segment today. Thank you for being part of On Deck with Avoya. We'll be back next Thursday with our discussion on Avoya events. Until then, take care, everyone.